Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another WWE Champions video and another hot tag. This time starring Rob Van Dam, Hall of Fame, and featuring 7 characters in total that he can use very well. There's a few others I could have done, but these were the 7 in my head. Those 7 are Kurt Angle Hall of Fame, Triple H Hall of Fame, Mr. Perfect Hall of Fame, Beefcake Hall of Fame, Randy Savage Hall of Fame, Trick, Legends Era Randy Savage, and lastly, Bobby Lashley, the Dominator. Bobby is going to be our last one, and make sure to stay to the end because Bobby Rob might be the most damaging tag team in the entire game, getting close to 10 billion. So stay tuned for that. However, we're going to get through the Hall of Fames first, starting with Kurt Angle. Obviously, though, we'll start with our character in the back, the main man of the show, Rob Van Dam. Our entourage will change with Rob a little bit as we go. However, the moveset is going to stay the exact same the entirety of the video. Starting off with the Rolling Thunder Senton, 1 charge green, makes 5 random and a 2-turn juggernauts that will increase the strength of your multis by 5 on every countdown turn and make 10 random into blue. We're going to use our split leg moonsault, 1 charge black that will make 6 random and a multi of strength 3, then deal damage and decrease our juggernaut gem timers by 1. And then lastly, we have a 6 charge blue springboard roundhouse that'll increase our black MP by 10, and it's a reversal. If the opponent changes either Superstar's gem damage, then deal 5 mil damage and make 20 random into multi of strength 4. The entourage that we're going to start with Kurt, and this will mainly be the entourage throughout the entire video, is going to be Jerry, King, Bo, and Goldberg. So Jerry with the +4, King with multi 2, and then all color 2. Bo for multi +6 and multi 60%. Bo has become slightly more available for $100. He had an offer, so obviously if you don't have him, just change what you can do. Obviously, there's a significant difference to have him. And then lastly, we have Goldberg Streak begins. That'll add another Juggernaut. So that is going to be Kurt for most of it. Obviously, when we make these changes, we will go back and show you these changes. Now, I do have Rob's silver gear. That will give us all color 100%. That will definitely boost the gem. I am, however, missing the gold for another 150. So yours might be hitting less than mine. Or if you have both yours will be actually hitting harder than mine, most likely. Lastly, we'll get into his belt. We are running tier 6s, obviously that will kind of mess the scaling up, but still it is very significant. Now, these 2 plates are still pretty rare. However, if you were able to get the drip when it came out, you definitely should have done that. And Steve sticks have become slightly more available as well. I now have 2 of them myself, so they're getting better and better. So if you don't know what drip is, whenever you activate a black move, make 7 random and multis of strength 7. And then the Steve sticks, whenever you make 6+ multi, increase your black gem by 200. And when you break 6 multi, generate 30 black at the end of the turn, which is very significant for what we're going to be doing with our tag team combos. All right, let's start up with Kurt. Also, I should actually mention too, Rob is a hot tag. He is the 2nd ever Hall of Fame to have one, and it will increase all of our gem by 100% for a turn, and has a 2-turn hot tag counter. Starting out with Kurt. Kurt, we're not even going to run a belt. I do have gears. The first gear is really all that matters. You do not need anything else at all. You really don't need anything really with Kurt. Moves, we're running the moonsault. Choose 1x4 and making a 1-turn countdown. So that will deal damage and make 6 random in the multi of strength 4. The cross-face chicken wing is a choose a black submission, will deal damage for 3 turns and remaining turn into multi of strength 8. The third move, we're not even going to use. If you want, you could use the release front suplex because it does have the reversal if you do want that. Entourage, I have Jerry and King, as well as Santa, Hogan, and Mem. You can actually change this forever what you want with minus MP if you would like to do that. If you don't think the sub is enough. Or if you want, you can even increase it more turns. It's completely up to you and what you want to do for that. Let's get into the match here. Kurt and Rob. I am starting with Kurt because I will say out of all 7, he is probably my least favorite of the 7. I'm also going to turn this down to a 2 just so you can see things a little bit better. I think 4 is a little too fast for current previews at least. So what we're going to do is we're going to put these down and then we hit their sub. You can break them if you want. You can do something like that, or you can leave all the multis you want on the board. It doesn't really matter. For the most part, you actually probably don't want to have that many on the board as these are going to do a lot of it, and we still need to have a bit on the board for Rob. So there we go, 100% gem boost. Right next to 678,000 gems. The times 22 are doing 7.6. So I can tell you right now, the times 22s times 18s aren't actually what they say. That is why Kurt is kind of more so at the bottom here. Also because he makes a lot of multi, this gets a little out of hand for the most part. And sometimes it doesn't work. Hence why he is the first one and really the last one on the list here. As you can see though, very big multis. 53 mil on a black. And unfortunately, yeah, this will cause too many issues. You know, the big thing there that we use is we can swipe, wait a turn, and then it'll set off with the blues, and the blues do 19 mil pretty well. So, again, huge reason why I'm not a fan of this completely. It does work. When it works, it will work pretty well. It does over 1 billion, I think, when I tested this. But yeah, there's just some issues that Kurt has that I'm not a big fan of. Now, you might be wondering, well, why did I start with him? Why is he even featured in here? And that's because I want to show you when we get better and better and better. And the next step on the list is someone that I would actually maybe use in an actual tag match with, and that's Triple H Hall of Fame. You know, we haven't seen him in a while anymore. No one really uses him as an actual card, but he actually has some really unique stuff to go with him. Moment, belt, doesn't matter. It just cares about the trainers, and we care about what we're doing here. So, tricolor is what we are running. 5 charge yellow, color submission, choose 9 to make it a red. Deal damage for 2 turns. Rain turn to multi of strength 7. We have a 6 charge red. They'll increase the strength of our multis by 4, and then choose a 7x1 to swap in a yellow. And then lastly, face breaker knee smash will increase by red and P by 9, and it's the reversal as well. Entourage here, it's actually pretty simple. You do not technically need to run this. Again, minus MP is a thing you can run. However, this just helps out a lot of MP with the green 4, red 4, and then yellow 2, as well as Santa Hogan for another 1. And then we just have Mem for another multi-strength. Obviously, Leo would be better. I did forget to mention, but obviously because we have HOF Link, we're getting, well, 2 HOF characters. We get HOF Link for all color 4, which is just overall better. It means minus MP is a lot more difficult to make us not have our moves. It is a lot more difficult to make us not have moves. So, Triple, what he does is he hits the sub first. Both moves, all 3 moves will be full, but we hit the sub first. Now your goal is to kind of hope that you can keep as much multi as possible. And there's a lot of red on this board, so I'm not really a fan of that, to be honest. Like, this yellow break is kind of messing me up here. We'll see what happens there. Okay. As you see, those are times 13s. We lost a bit, but that's fine. So, here comes the fun part. They're times 13s, which is really good. You hit this red move. Increase them by 4. You do not take the one by 7. We increase by 9, which will in turn fill this move again. We'll increase it by another 4. And again, we do not take it. So these are now times 21s for Rob. And because there is a lot more of a board that we can work with, guess what? If there's a break or a way where we can guarantee break 6 multi, we would take that. Obviously on this board there's not. So we're going to do it the other way, which is you hit the Juggernaut first. This way, we'll make the whole board blue. Less damaging, but is guaranteed. So again, this comes down. And as you can see, we have those 35, 37s, but now we also have some 51s on the board, which we did not have before. And we hit this again. Juggernauts come down. We will blow up the whole board, and we will make some extra black on top of it. Again, 1.2 billion. That is a low end. Obviously, if you have a way where you can break 6 multis and set the sticks off, you'll hit even harder than that. But again, 1.2 billion, you can't really complain with. Yes, there's hype and there is tier 6 advantage. So keep that in mind. But still, you're going to be doing really good damage on that build. Next up, we have Mr. Perfect Hall of Fame. Perfect is actually a really, really interesting character here for what he gives to Rob. So let's start off with it. 8 charge black diving clothesline. We'll skip the opponent's turns for 2 turns. We have a 4 charge Juggernaut flying form smash here. Choose 2 to make into 3 turn Juggernauts. They'll modify a 1x7 Ran Maria into multi of strength 2. If it does go all the way, we do decrease, but we won't get to that point. And then we have a 7 charge green that chooses 5 to make into black. Entourage is actually very simple. We're just keeping it black MP4, multi 2. We have Zombie Sean, and we have Santa Hogan. So we have exactly 8 MP on the black, but then obviously we're going to have another additional 4 from the link. So even if the opponent had -4, Perfect will be turn 1. So very solid. Again, no belt, no nothing. I do have a gear that will benefit us, and that is another Juggernaut if you have both gears, which I believe are both available in the armory, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, they are both available in the armory. So what Perfect does is actually pretty simple. He stuns them, and we are going to take a swipe. Just like that. He's stunned. We now are going to hit these 3. Obviously, if you don't have both gears, you're only going to do 1. Not 1, 2. But, and now we got these big shoes. Now, all we're going to do is create some 4 breaks and just have a bit more black on the board. Now, the great thing here about that choose move and with Perfect is we can actually set up a way to guarantee a Steve Sec swipe. Boom, those go down. We get even more multi on the board. The rest go down. These come down. So again, a lot less multi-strength. Actually, you could run less of this if you want. Maybe 2 actually would be enough. We'll do a retake with just 2. The highest we got here, we got some 10s here. We got some 12s here. Got some 4s here. The 12s are doing 22 million though. And we're going to 4 break it. That way, the Steve stick will set off. Just like that. And there was another 1.1. Less strength on the multis, so that's why we didn't hit quite as hard. We'll redo that again, except I will only have 2 Juggernauts on the board. I don't even know if you would want the gear with Perfect. That seems like something maybe you don't want. I mean, heck, you could do just 1 Juggernaut, because that would still set the Steve stick off. So let's do one Juggernaut. So there we go. One Juggernaut comes down. We'll do just that. Again, we'll get rid of loot boxes and just have more black on the board. Make things better. Alrighty. Put that down. Here comes 12 multis, and we're going to do our decrease. Just like that. That set the drip off twice somehow. I'm not really sure what happened there. We are at 1.2 mil now, so times 4 is 5.3. Times 5 at 6.6, and times 7 at 9 mil. Obviously, we're about to get much more than that. Down we go. And here comes the Moonsault again. Boom. Unfortunately, it does do a cover. Well, okay, that's not... Times 4 does not do that. So even though that says times 4, it is not doing times 4. It is, I'm guessing, a 35? No, it's less than a 35. Not sure, though. And we have 37, so we're doing 69 million a gem here. So take that swipe. This is definitely much better to run him like this. And there you go. I believe that is 3.2 billion. It says negative. I do know they upped the cap of the 2 bill. I know they did up it. So I believe that is probably 3.2 billion damage. Again, sure, you know, 4 is considered, height 4 is considered into that. And so is tier 6, but you reduce 3.2 a little bit. It's still plenty of damage to win. So keep that in mind. All right, next up we have Hall of Fame Beefcake. Actually a really good character on his own. He does a lot, and I mean a lot, for Rob, which is really fun. So we're going to be running full Nelson Slam here. 7 charge purple, choose 4 rows to make no trap gems, broken by your opponent, deal damage, and increase your black gem by 30%. This we do not care about. We're just going to do if broken by you, deal damage, and make 4 into black. That is what we're doing. I have the sub in here, 7 charge purple, color sub, choose 10, make it purple, and then it does into the, and then remain turn into these same trap gems. We have this running clothesline. We're not going to use it again. If you want, you can swap in, for instance, the body slam, just to have that reversal in case you want. Entourage, we're going to be running mellow. You can run really whatever here, it doesn't matter. And then I just have 2 minus MP with him on top of it. So we can minus them even more. Obviously, Beefcake, I believe it's his second, yes, his second gear is actually pretty good, as it gives us all color 4 on top of that, meaning I have 4 and 4, we have then another additional 4, and then with the link we have another additional 4 MP. So a lot of MP. Again, minus MP, not really going to do a lot to us. And if you really wanted to, you can have woods or either woods as well to make sure that that MP stays up. So there's a lot of options that Beefcake gives us to run with Rob. Alrighty. So there's a few things you can do here actually with Beefcake. If you have -4 and you know they don't have any of their moves and next turn they went, you could just literally swipe. However, if you want to really be safe, or if they do have moves, you can just hit the sub. Again, we don't want to put a ton of gems. Obviously, we want to make sure that there's room for Rob to do his stuff. We obviously want him to do that. Alrighty. Simple right there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our full Nelson, do that, and we are going to take this. We just want to put it on a place where we can swipe for Rob. Mind you, each of those traps makes 4 random into black. So keep that in mind. The split leg comes down. We're going to make multis, and the drip will set off. We will put the juggernauts down. Now, here's the thing. I haven't tested this in an actual match, but yes, the HOF League realistically should make this move turn 1, and you would not need Jerry. If you do not, then I would highly suggest running Freakin' for 5 more multi-strength and 4% more gen damage. Pretty good stuff. Alright, and now these come down. So there we go. There's times 35 and 37s. Once again, 59, 56 million. The cool thing with Beefcake that he does is he gets to put black on the board. Now there we go, we did 234. We did miss a little bit. I'll do it again. That's what's supposed to happen. You can do very big board blow-ups with Beefcake that do a lot of damage. Again, it does kind of depend on the board and what you have. So it does kind of depend on stuff. I know it's not the best because it's not technically consistent. Every build after this definitely is, and even Perfect I would say is pretty. Mr. Perfect is pretty consistent with him. So again, we're just gonna hit the sub, get the turn, get to the next turn so that we can get Rob in. Just like that. Alrighty. Again, unfortunately there's no like straight vertical that I can use, which does suck. Again, I don't really want to have 2 rows because that kind of messes up Rob a bit. So let's see. There is a lot more black though now on the board. So I'm hoping that'll help us out a little bit. So there we go. First set of multis go down. And then here comes the second set. Gonna do the swipe. There we go. Yeah. So we got all of them. Every single one. 6.3 billion. A lot. A lot of damage. A lot of damage. With this team. When it works, it definitely works. Yes, it does have a little bit of caveat of it can technically miss. Which is unfortunate. Now, if you don't have bow, I would definitely suggest then just putting 2 rows of traps on the board, and you'll be actually good to go, and you'll probably actually be more consistent. You'll do less, but you'll be more consistent, and considering how hard that just hit for, I would probably take consistency over that because we're doing enough damage as is. Alrighty, next up we'll run HOF Macho. Now HOF Macho has had a pretty standard normal build his entire time as a character. This is it kind of takes it on its head a little bit. Obviously, right, you run yellow, you run this yellow, you run the Fen. However, we're swapping it out. I do have the Doving double axe handle. Choose 7x1 of my swap blue, pin bar will not move. It is in there for a reason instead of the reversal here. Actually, all 3 moves of these do have an actual purpose. Head pull Heyman, choose 2 to make it a 2-turn Juggernauts. It is a 6 charge purple, and it will increase the strength of our multis by 2 on every countdown turn and make 10 multi into purple. And then our layer takedown is a force stun for 1 turn. Entourage is pretty simple. Again, I just have the basic people that I usually run for his other moveset. This is highly customizable to what you want to do. Again, you can have purple MP. You know, King can stay on if he wants to. You can have Santa Hogan. You can run double minus MP. It doesn't really matter. I do have some gears. They will not matter to this build literally at all. Literally nothing. Now, however, we do have a change, as you can see, to Rob. Because we have a choose 1x7, I don't really have to worry about minus MP or anything. That 7x1 area will get us that blue move, that's Rainbow Roundhouse. Which means we can run someone else, and that someone else we're going to be running is freaking 40% more gem, Juggernaut +1, which, as you know, each Juggernaut increases multi-strength by 5. So that's technically an extra multi-strength of 5. So really good. Alrighty. So obviously you want to hit your stun. It's one turn, but that's all we need for Rob. I do have an X-Break plate on him. It doesn't really matter. We're actually just going to get rid of these. Right? Just get me a little bit more blow up. But as you can see, right, this just makes it so, boom, Rob is ready to go. This is going to come down. I'm actually going to get rid of some of these because, again, we don't want them on the board fully. So again, this will increase our multi-strength by 2 per, by the way, so it's actually 4. So our first set of multis that come down are already going to get a little buff. There's a times 11, there's some 7s, there's some 9s, there's some stuff on the board. And again, this actually does set off Steve Sticks, because the Juggernauts do make purple when they set off. So initial purple break, and then we will set off with the black. That looks like 6 billion again. I can't tell. It was a lot though. It's a lot. It is a lot of damage. It actually probably wasn't 6 billion. But it's a lot. There's a lot. Again, big multis there. I mean, each black is doing, I don't know, 50 mil. So probably wasn't 6 billion. It was probably like, I think it said 1.6. I think there was a 1. It was like 1.6 billion. So not as much as I thought, but still quite a bit. So that is Macho Man. Now we're going to go to a different Macho Man. Trick Macho. Now I do need to change Rob for this, and he's going to go back to the Jerry build that we had him at. Now this is going to cause some destruction, to be honest. So that we're finally out of all the HOFs. Now I will say there are a few other characters in the HOF area that you could run. Shiki is one that you can run. He is a sub that has multi-strength. It's not awful. It's not the best, but you can definitely do it. Ron does have a straight decrease counter if you just want to get Rob instantly in and have someone with minus MP. That does work as well. Mick Foley has a sub build with Silence Gems and Juggernauts that make multi. It's alright. I prefer like Perfect and everyone else. Like Perfect, Beefcake, Macho over him. So I don't know if I would really ever run them. Savage now is a very interesting character when we use Rob in the back. And that is where you're going to be running green, black, black. Green move, 5 charge, increase black MP by 10. We have a 8 charge of black, and this is where the magic really comes. Modify a 2x1 random area into 2-turn Juggernauts. They'll increase your green gem damage by 325% for 2 turns on every countdown turn, and make 49 random gems into green. It's a lot. It's a bit. It's a bit. And now I do also have the sub, 10 charge sub, make 32 random gems. 1 turn, decrease Juggernaut. It's pretty good. I don't know if we're going to be really using it though. I have George Woods and double minus MP on him. And I'll show you why. It's kind of an interesting reason here. Let's go in the match. Let's get into the match and I'll show you why. It's kind of like Beefcake in a way. So if you know they do not have any MP, take the swipe, try and get a black match or a green wild card, because then you can hit this move, keep that for the next turn, and then have this wild card again. Here, I'll actually do that right now. Or just swipe a black. So we're going to hit that. We're not going to hit anything there. And we're going to take that wild card. So now I have everything loaded. If they have their moves, hit your green move with a sub. Now the reason why I do this is it actually depends. This will do significant more damage. No matter what, you're going to hit the Juggernaut move once. If you have it like this, or you get the chance to do it like this, you get the Jugs out twice. Which is obviously better, right? Obviously better. So we then put them down. Bam. Rob gets tagged. Now, the interesting thing about this build is we don't actually care about our black. We care more so about the green gems. on the board. Boom. As you can see. Wow. So we increased by, I believe that's 325 a juggernaut. And there's 4 of them. Our base green is now 2.8 million. I do not have one on times 5, but I will say times 7 is doing 22 million damage. Which is a lot. A lot of damage. And now finally, we're going to hit this again. And we're going to hit this jug move again. Big multi. All of that becomes green. Literally everything becomes green. We then make our extra black gem. That is definitely wrong. Yeah, it's definitely wrong. I don't know how much that does. Actually, I do know. I tested this in a showdown. They had a 60% armor defense, which actually is very significant because it takes the actual gem and then minus it by 60, and I still did 1 billion. So that is probably doing 2.5 billion normally against people, which is stupid strong. Again, 1 billion is still 1 billion. So again, really solid damage that you can use with that build. And that build's pretty safe. Now, it's time to get to probably the greatest tag team ever, the most damaging tag team in the game that I know of at the moment, and that is Bobby Lashley and Rob Van Dam. A team, I'm going to be honest with you, I would have never expected. But, like, it's brutal how strong this team is. All right. Bobby is running blue, red, red. We have an 8-charge blue backbreaker rack. Choose 6 to make into red. Follow a slam. 6-charge red. Choose one to make into 2-turn juggernaut. That'll increase your black gem by 156% for 2 turns. And then deal damage to increase your red MP by 9. And then lastly, we have a 9-charge red hurt lock. Color submission. Choose 7 in the blue. Deal damage. Remaining turn in the multi of strength 5. Entourage. We are running double red MP. We are running Goldberg for another Juggernaut. And then I have Naya, mainly for 3 more red gems, so we get a little bit more on that. It's crazy how we get this build. Obviously, you can kind of mix some things up. Again, if you're someone that doesn't want it, minus MP, you do have to run double because it is a 9-charge sub. However, because of what we're doing, we also get to change Rob. Rob actually does not want bow for this moveset. He does not. Which you would think is a little odd, right? But he just does not want bow. He does not want bow, and because our color submission is a choose blue, we can run freaking. Let me show you the destruction that this build can do. So, first things first, you always start with the sub. Now, we're just going to do a little floor break here, and we'll do another break right here. And now we're just going to make the rest, put them down. Obviously, that fills Rob up completely. Pretty big cascade from the AI there. There we go. Now it's back to us. Now, no matter what, then there's a few things you can do here. You're obviously going to hit the Juggernaut move, put your Juggernauts down. Now, what you do next is completely up to you. Now, you can hit this blue move and just set up 4 breaks like we did with Mr. Perfect, where you're just going to set him up. That way we can 4 break, hopefully break 6 multi, and we'll drop black down the board, right? Or you can set up some 4 break and have 2-3 matches on the board. Two 3 matches on the board, as that is just enough for this 6 MP move to hit the Juggernaut move twice. So again, it literally just depends on your preference. If you want cascade risk, a little cascade risk, or no cascade risk, obviously more cascade risk is going to double your damage output pretty much, but to be honest with you, I don't think you'll need it. We're just going to showcase it here to you. Now, because we're using Knight, we have freaking... Our black gems are way higher now than normal. They're at 790,000 already, just by tagging in. Now we're going to hit our first multi. Now, this makes only 6. And then we add the drip. So as you can see, those 4 juggernauts just set off. Each juggernaut is 156% black gem, meaning we're doing 5.5 million of black. A times 5 is doing 29 million already, and times 7 is doing 41 million. An absolute insane amount. An insane amount of damage, alright? Straight up. Not normal. Alright, here we go. This comes down. The multis come down. Boom. Whole board's multi. Whole board. We got times 40s, times 42s everywhere. So, again, base black, 7.8 million now. I don't have any black times 7s, but we have some black times 40s here. They're doing 329 million a gem. Times 42 doing 346, almost 350 million a gem. And then just like before, again, we have the 4 break setup, and we actually got another one so you can use either or. The 4 break setup, we break 6 multis is all we need, which is what we're going to do right here. Make 30 black. That I think says 14 billion. That's 14 billion that one says. Obviously, right, for whatever. 14 billion, you scale it down, it doesn't matter. It's doing like 10 builds to people. It's doing so much damage. Again, you can, that's with Cascaderus, obviously you can tone that down, and I'm just going to show you guys that right now. This is by far, from what I can tell, the most damaging tag team in the entire game, and it's not even close. It's not even close at all. So again, here, we'll do our 4 break. We'll do a little cheeky 3 here. Put them down, whatever. Like, is it the best tag team in the game? Safety-wise, like, my SMP, I think, messes it up just for Bobby. But otherwise, no. Like, if you're allowed, like, they don't have this stuff to counter, Bobby's hidden. So here, right, instead of doing a double break, we are just going to set up a ton of 4 breaks. So that way we have way more chances, to pretty much where it's impossible not to cascade and win, and get our big 30 black, set off that Steve stick. And again, this build does not want bow. Like, that's the hilarious thing to me. So again, blacks are only doing 3, but still, we're doing so much damage. Like, this build literally is the best one. Doesn't even need bow. A very hard to get, still kind of coach. Like, I mean, he costing you probably about $100 to get him. Doesn't need the... Boom. So, again, we're still doing 200 mil. We're still doing 200. And, like, we're still doing a lot. Like, you're still doing a lot. By the way, that is the guarantee setup as well, and I believe that is 5 billion. So, again, you're still doing enough. That other way is just to really make sure you put someone down, but this, it, for the most part, should beat 7 stars. Should really beat anyone, for the most part. Even if you're a 7-star with, like, 200% health showdown stuff, I don't think you're getting out of that. Again, that's what I mean. This team is definition of heavy hitting, heavy hitters. I do not see another person or team in the game, at least right now, that's hitting harder. I mean, mind you, I always discover new stuff. So for the most part, any other hot take video we do will probably never get to this potential ever, or at least for a while. So just keep in mind, unfortunately, any new hot take videos I do are not going to get close to what these two are doing together. But yeah, Bobby is like the perfect setup. The juggernauts are great. Everything is great. I think Bobby is still available right now as well. Bobby, I believe, is in the keys. I think I pulled them actually. I got him hype 4, so there's hype available for him because I did not spend any universal on him either. So yes, this is a really interesting team. Again, that belt on Bobby is literally meaningless. It doesn't matter. You mean you can run armor for all I know, right? Like there's a lot you can do. There's so much stuff. I really enjoy that. But yeah, so that's what I discovered. That's what I found out. It's just this team is so strong. I'm pretty sure I will never see a gem, one singular gem, do more than that in this game for a long time. And mind you, too, this Rob is only 6 gold. This is not a 7-star Rob. 7-star Rob, he's getting a whole nother coach slot. He's getting, just more damage in particular as well. So if you have your Rob higher, also we're missing an entire gear for 150% more gem. Like sky's the limit. You guys are gonna hit even harder than mine is currently, and mine's hitting hard enough. So like there's really no issues there. So if you stick to the end, that is your reward, Bobby and Rob Van Dam, an absolutely destructive team that is going to win. So like it is so good. It's so good. Also, if you stayed here this long, please consider liking the video and also subscribing. Again, I just did a video not too long ago discussing the new community and my email that I put out. So if you haven't seen that video, please check it out. A bunch of new stuff coming out, a bunch of new ways to interact with this little community that we are starting to build up, to be honest with you. So that's great. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And again, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.